Welcome back to What's That Strap. In this video, I want to demonstrate how to improve rotational range of motion without having to do any more stretches or creative rotational mobility exercises, and I'm going to use a cliche. We're going to compare improving rotational movement ability to opening and closing a door. You might know where I'm going with this. If a door doesn't close or open easily, we don't just rip it open harder or slam it shut with more force. We have to focus on the hinges. And social media is full of a lot of examples on how to just try to rip the door open or close it shut harder to create rotational movement ability. In this video, I want to bring some attention to the hinges, how the alignment and teamwork between the rotational teammates, keeping our spine and hips in zones where they are free to rotate during rotational movements is as much, if not more important, than your actual rotational twisting flexibility. The alignment in motion, keeping the teammates in zones where they're free to move. And the easiest example for me to show you is how, especially when we drift through our trunk into a position where we are extended. Don't take offense to this. I call this squat spine, in hinge spine, in bench spine, in row spine, because it's the easiest to relate to, getting a big arch. If you feel an arch in your lower back and your middle back, and you're getting kind of in this linebacker stance, and then you're going to try to rotate and twist, you're going to be locked up. And this is what I see often. My clients, their default, too much extension. Got to soften them up on the backside. People I see in the gym, okay, when I'm working out on my own, they grab a cable handle, and they're already in squat spine. And to rotate, you will find way more freedom when your rib cage and pelvis is closer to what we'll call kind of this level arrangement. It's not a perfect position. It's not perfectly parallel. We're going to leave it. We're going to retrieve it, but it's a lot closer to being level than it is shifted into extension. So if you're starting in a rotational exercise and you're already extended, you can do this. Try this for yourself. Get super extended. I'm using these HipSquare Sticks to demonstrate the alignment of my rib cage and pelvis, demonstrating some global extension through the trunk, and then try to get open. You're going to feel super jammed up in your lower and middle back. You're not going to be able to dissociate or create that separation, but once you level things out, you get more closer to this relationship in these kind of sport positions. Once you get leveled out, you're going to feel way more of an ability to rotate freely and a lot less jammed up. If I were to just stand here and begin to twist, okay, I feel nice and stacked through my rib cage and pelvis, and I begin to extend, take the chest, the sternum away from the zipper, this feels terrible. And so it should, just an easy, really easy way to show you where those comfortable positions are for your trunk to rotate. Position really matters. Let's try to identify if you have a kind of a 10-degree doorstop just because you're in a bad position to rotate, and focus less on creating more extreme ranges of motion. And if I had to predict, I think what's happening now with the advancements in kind of motion capture, what we're going to find is that elite rotational athletes, they aren't as flexible as we think we are. They just get the right amount of range of motion through the teammates at the right time. And the combination of teamwork throughout the body leads to what looks like a lot of range of motion. Rather, they're actually able to keep length-tension relationships. They're able to keep muscles in very strong positions, because when you take a muscle to a very extreme range of motion, it's going to get biomechanically weaker. So why would we want to take any one joint into an extreme range of motion during a rotational sports movement when we get everything to work together? We get mobile as a team and strong at the individual joints or individual teammates. So I hope this video is clear that when you're doing a rotational mobility exercise or rotational movement, posture really matters. Get in a good zone that sets your body up to rotate freely. Be aware of how you start. Be aware if you lose that position through the middle, and try to maintain, again, that alignment, that teamwork. Focus on the hinges. Don't just try to rip the door open or slam it shut.